It's the height of the berry season here in Happy Valley, and my own garden has buried me with berries this year. Cherries, strawberries, and now blueberries. As much as I like to bake pie and make pie crusts, I'm here to tell you I don't always have the time or the energy. Today, I'm going to show you how to put pie on your family's dessert table in half the time with half the mess and half the fuss. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make my recipe for rustic berry galettes. And galette is just a fancy word for a rustic berry tart. And I'm starting today with 6 cups of fresh blueberries. You can use almost any kind of fruit. You can use apples or cherries or even peaches as long as you have 6 cups. To the berries, I'm going to add 1 cup of granulated white sugar and some tapioca, cornstarch, cinnamon, and salt. Get that off my hands. I'm going to mix all of these dry ingredients just long enough to get the berries a good coat. And for my wet ingredients, my secret ingredient is a little bit of a blueberry blast schnapps, about 3 tablespoons. And 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And I'm using concentrate. This is supposed to be an easy recipe. I'm going to mix all of this together until the wet ingredients, until the blueberries actually all kind of start to look blue again instead of white. And now, I'm just going to set this aside for about 5 minutes to let the cornstarch and the tapioca work its magic and thicken this into a really nice pie filling. Well, my berries are thickened, and while they were thickening, I took a baking pan and I lined it with aluminum foil and a sheet of parchment paper. And I took 2 boxed pie crusts, yes folks, boxed pie crusts, out of the refrigerator to come to room temperature. I've rolled one here out on the pan, and I'm just going to roll the second one out. And these are actually going to overlap each other, but you'll see how this works when it goes together. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle the bottom of each one of these with just a little bit of tapioca. Oh, maybe ½ teaspoon to a teaspoon. And I'm going to leave a border of unfilled pie filling, and in the whole layering process, you want to leave a border of about 1 inch to 1.5 inches around the bottom of each pie crust. So now it's time to scoop in our filling. I'm using a slotted spoon and working as quickly as I can and as evenly as I can without, this is supposed to be easy and fun. I'm just going to add my berries to the top of both pastry crusts. See how nice and thick this got? And if it drips, don't worry about it. Nobody's going to see it. Okay, the berries are in. Now all I'm going to do, I'm going to fold these pastry crusts just like you'd be folding fabric. Up and around, up and around, up and around. Isn't this easy? This is fun. Even your kids would have fun doing this. You're just making a little pouch. That's called a galette. You're encasing the berries with your pie pastry. No drips, no mess. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brush the tops of the pastry with the egg wash, which is 1 beaten egg, and about a teaspoon of just plain water. And just brush it liberally. If it drips onto the parchment paper, do not worry about it. The fun part about this is when they come out of the oven, even if the berry filling runs a little bit, the parchment paper gets all the mess. You don't. Okay, we're almost done with this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle these with cinnamon sugar, the same stuff we used to put on our toast for breakfast. And I'm going to sprinkle a little extra right on top of the berries as well. I'm going to pat a little bit of butter. And I like to use salted butter when I put butter pats on. I know unsalted butter is traditional, but I kind of like that little bit of a salty taste, which brings up the flavors of the berries as they bake. Just a little bit more. At you. And now I'm going to put these in the oven at 450 degrees for 15 minutes. And then I'm going to lower the temperature to 350 degrees for 15 minutes. And when these come out, dessert will be ready to be served. What's not to love about this meal for a hot summer day? Burgers on the grill, a little bit of macaroni salad, a warm berry dessert in half the time it takes to bake a pie. Oh wow, that is very delicious. For these and all of my recipes, just go to my website.